Christ 17 TV back upside your head with another one. I want to go way back today as a kid in the, I want to say, early 90s, late fucking 80s. And the things kids, well, I don't know where you lived at, but the places where I lived at, New York City, San Francisco, the things kids could buy when they was young that they can't buy nowadays. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, the shit I was allowed to buy at an early age. I mean, from going to the store with a note at about 7 years old to get my mom cigarettes. I mean, zigzags. I mean, that's at 7 years old. Notes. You can get alcohol. You can get cigarettes, zigzags. But some of the more crazier shit was when I was in New York. When I was in Manhattan in like, I want to say I was, what was I, in 4th grade? Maybe 5th grade? I was like 9, 10. We could go down to 14th. What was it? 14th and about, what was it? Not 7th Avenue. Well, it was somewhere down there on 14th. They had a spot where they had samurai swords, ninja stars, I mean, blow darts, like straight karate ninja shit. We could actually go down there at 10, at 9 and 10, and purchase ninja stars. If we had the money, they would have sold us a fucking samurai sword. They didn't care. I mean, we bought stars all the time. Little knives, pull the thing off, it's a blade. I mean, we was buying shit all the time and getting in trouble too, because I remember throwing the star, we throwing the shit at a bench. So my boy goes to grab his shit, and I'm not thinking, I'm still trying to throw it. He's bending down, the shit hits off the ground, makes a spark, and sticks into his thigh while he had one knee on the ground. Now, let me tell you this. I got my ass kicked for that shit. My mom whooped my ass, and I wasn't allowed at my friend's house for a minute over that shit. But guess what? I kept going and buying ninja stars. Now, let's go to the BX, where, let me see, what was I 12? I think 12 years old. Candy store, in a candy store on Archer and Taylor, way back then, which now is a beauty store, was a candy store. Check this out. The candy store, you can buy fireworks, but not just any fireworks. I'm talking about M80s, quarter stick of fucking dynamite, all kind of shit like that. I mean, crazy shit. We buying fucking M80s, quarter sticks of fucking dynamite. Cheap too, like $2, $1, shit like that. We would take the shit and put it inside the phone, get a brown little bag, tie the wick to the brown bag, burn the brown bag to give us time, and let it burn. Boom! Change falling out the phone. We did that to all the phones in the neighborhood till the drug dealers started getting mad because they couldn't call nobody when they was getting paged. So they was chasing us around, beating the shit out of us, saying, don't come on this block, blowing up the phones, because when they got their page, they couldn't call nobody because we done blew up the phones. All the changes flew out that motherfucker. Shit was like crazy. Like, imagine nowadays if a 12-year-old kid could walk into a candy store and come out with a quarter stick of dynamite. People didn't care what they sold kids. I mean, San Francisco, TL, you bring a note, you can come home with cigarettes, a pint of whiskey, fucking zigzags, whatever you wanted. in Manhattan. I could have left with a fucking samurai sword at the age of fucking 10 and could have hurt somebody. I mean, ninja stars, blow darts, anything ninja shit, they had it and we had access to at a young age. And the people who worked in there, Asians, they didn't mind selling us shit. I mean, I bought so many stars from that place, it's crazy. I mean, I had like 4 or 5 different ones, and I would love throwing them shits at trees, at benches, all kind of shit. Like that was the childhood we had in the late 80s, early 90s. But just imagine going into a candy store at about 11 and 12, and they was even selling the shit to my friends who was like 10 years old. You can go in there and buy a fucking M80, quarter stick, and you could be walking around with this fucking crazy, explosive shit, and you just a fucking kid. I remember 1/4, a motherfucker took an M80, threw the shit in the air. It was like 5 feet from this girl who wore glasses. It blew up and it fucked her face up. Like in the air. That's how powerful the blast was. It knocked her fucking glasses off. The fucking glasses cut her face all through here. She was bleeding. I mean, that was early 90s, man. That was crazy shit. You can go buy a quarter stick of fucking dynamite or M80s, all kind of Roman candles at a young fucking age. Then, when I lived in Bronxwood, I was like 14, and I could go in the corner store, get me a loose fucking cigarette, light my cigarette, 14, get a cigarette, ask the man to light my fucking cigarette in the bodega, he will light it, and I'm 14. No problem. Yeah, sure, puppy, here. Go outside smoking a cigarette at 14, and the people let me even light it up there. He would even light it for me as I walk out. And I could buy Heinekens. My first 40 ounce, I bought it like 13 or 14, Colt 45. I bought me a Philly, Colt 45. Mom was at work. I thought I was the coolest motherfucker in the world. I rolled me up this weed. I cracked that motherfucking 40 ounce that I always see the commercial with my boy Billy D. I cracked that motherfucker, took a sip like, shit tasted bad. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like the taste of beer when I first tried it, but I was trying to be cool. Now, weed, I like the taste, how weed tastes. So I used to roll up my Philly, smoke the shit. I used to actually, my mom used to be buying weed, so I used to kind of take her weed when she wasn't looking, take some out the bag, take a couple roaches here and there, break it down, roll me a little Philly. She would work at night, so I would think I was grown as hell. I would walk to the store, have my little $5, got me a Philly, which I think back then was like 50 cents. Colt 45, 40 was like $1.25, some shit like that, and go upstairs and thought I was grown. And the cold part is the drug dealers on the corner was like, yo, shorty, you got a 40? You got a Philly? What you about to do with that? Who that for? I like, man, that's for me. That's for me. I'm a big man. Yeah, right. Little motherfucking 13-year-old, 14-year-old motherfucker thinking he grown but don't know shit. Go upstairs and fucking roll that shit up and drink it. And man, I'm telling you, that 40 had me so fucked up. I tried to lay down and my shit was spinning. Got up, threw up, got in the shower, tried to shake that shit. I drank the whole 40 and smoked the whole blunt at 14, and that shit had me so twisted. You remember the first time you ever got drunk and you tried to lay down and your head just started spinning like a fucking ceiling fan? Those were the fucking days when you got so lit you started spinning. So I'm just saying, the shit you could do then, you can't do now. Imagine a motherfucker letting you do all that shit in today's day that you could do then. The people will be thrown in jail. Let a motherfucker store owner sell you a loose, light you up, and let you puff it until it's on and walk out the store. Police roll up and see that you fucked. Imagine walking out a store with a 40 ounce and a Philly at 13, 14. Police see that. No good. Imagine coming to school with ninja stars. Imagine that shit. Imagine that shit. Imagine somebody allowing you to walk to the store for your parents at 7 with a note and bringing back fucking cigarettes and alcohol. Can't do that shit nowadays. They throw you underneath the jail, man. So it's just the things you could do that. And then who remembers the cigarette machines where you throw in the thing and you pull the thing and the pack falls down? We were using that as kids and smoking fucking cigarettes, running around thinking we cool. We smoked a whole pack when I was like 7. A whole fucking pack in San Fran. Me and this kid Griff. I mean, we were just chain smoking. Coughing till we learned how to do it without the cough. We smoked a whole pack at like 7 years old. A whole pack. I think it was a pack of Cools. Pack of Cools, Parliament, some shit. It was in like a green pack. I remember that. But those were the days when kids was wilding the fuck out. In my days, I mean, from the Tenderloin to Manhattan to the Boogie Down. I mean, it was crazy times. So I just wanted to do a little vid on the shit that kids used to do where I came from when I was growing up to what they doing now. And I mean, you would get in so much trouble for doing the shit that we did now. Imagine a kid going to school having ninja stars, a little blade, and that's the shit they fucking sold to you when they was like 9, 10 years old. We was taking our ninja stars to school, showing them off, getting in no trouble. Teacher even seen our shit and didn't even trip on it. That's how kickback the shit was. She just said, keep it in your backpack. I'll never forget that shit. They told us, just keep it in your backpack and don't be throwing it in school. We had ninja stars at school in our backpacks. So when we came out of school, we throwing that shit at benches, all kind of shit, trees. I mean, we have fun. Those were the days. So with that being said, hit that like, hit that subscribe. It won't cost you a dime, like I tell you every time around this time. When I was growing up, was a different era. This days is way more sensitive, way more soft. Everybody's just crying about everything, man. Back then, that's when you would get your ass whooped. You whoop your kid ass now, they might even call the cops on you. That's when you go outside and your parents would throw you out the house. Man, get the fuck out of here. When them lights come on outside, you better have your ass inside this fucking house. Those were the fucking days. You remember that? Putting a card in your bike tire so you hear the sound. Pegs on the back. You got one kid on the back of your shit. One kid on the handlebars. 3 kids, 1 bike. You get into wherever you need to be. Those were the days, man. You don't see that shit anymore. So with that being said, everybody, have a blessed day because it's coming. It's about to start pouring out here. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Stay off the road in this horrible rain. And I'll catch you on the flip side, player. This Christ 17 TV. The things you could do then that you can't do now. The good old days, man. Till next time.